Welcome back to the Caregiver's Compass. Today we are sitting down with someone who truly understands what it means to juggle it all. She is part of the sandwich generation. She is raising a family, pursuing her doctorates, building a career, and caring for a parent with dementia. If you've ever felt like you've been pulled a dozen different directions, this conversation is absolutely for you. Again, welcome to the Caregiver's Compass, where we guide you through the journey of aging, caregiving, and life's most important transitions. I am Regina Webb, a certified occupational therapy assistant. I am a senior care and transition strategist, a licensed realtor, and the founder of the Compass Senior Living Advisors. Here at the Caregiver's Compass, we help families navigate senior care, housing options, and the emotional decisions that come with caregiving, so you don't have to do it alone. And tonight we're interviewing a young lady. Her name is Miss Kelly Lazarus. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us here at the Caregiver's Compass.
You're welcome.
We're going to dive right in, and we initially start our interviews with a little short, kind of fun icebreaker called Mythbusters. And I'll just throw some things out there. You tell me if it's a fact or a myth, and if you want to kind of elaborate on your answer, you most certainly can. So the first one is being organized is enough to prevent caregiver burnout. Fact or myth?
I would say a myth.
A myth.
I mean, being organized definitely will help,
Mhm.
but I think that's a myth.
I agree with you. So, fact or myth, if you're taking care of everyone else, it's selfish to make time for yourself.
Definitely a myth. You have to take care of yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely agree. And fact or myth, children don't notice the stress their caregiving parent is under.
That's definitely a myth.
Yes.
I have two children, and they are extremely helpful, and they see the stress. And they're part of the stress too, because they also help with my mother, their grandmother. And
Yeah.
from time to time, they will have conversations with me about it's too much, it's stressful, it's a lot going on. I'm just a teenager, you know, which
Yeah.
is all it's factual. So
Yeah. Very good point. I can't wait to get into this conversation. So we have two more.
okay.
So you have to choose between a good parent or a good caregiver. Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. Um, for me, I would say maybe, oh gosh, a good caregiver. That's a tough one. Maybe a good caregiver.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I know being in the middle, I'm not in the thick of it as you,
Mhm.
but just the caregiving that I have to deal with it, I think it's kind of, it just depends. It
Yeah,
really depends.
I was gonna say it really also depends just like on the situation.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because you do have to put your children first at times.
Mhm.
But you also have to remember that your parent, in my situation, my parent is relying upon me, and
Mhm.
that's really important. So that's a tough one. It's
Yeah.
situational for sure.
Yes. And so the last one is it's possible to do it all if you just manage your time well enough.
That is a myth.
Mm. Yes. Yes, I think that explains itself.
I actually don't believe in trying to do it all.
Mhm.
I truly believe in your resources.
Mhm.
Um, Trying to get support from other people because you are one person.
Mhm.
If you burn out, then that's a huge problem because when you go down, it affects everybody.
Everybody.
So, no.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into the interview. Um, those are some really, each one of those myths actually are a really good conversation to have.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we'll even talk about maybe some resources that you have found that have been resourceful for you. So the first part of our conversation is just getting to know you and your journey. So for those of you those people that are out there that's meeting you for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are outside of caregiving.
I turned 50 this year. Very proud of that. I am a mom. I have two beautiful children, a soon to be 18-year-old daughter. This is her senior year in high school. She's extremely active. So I
Mhm.
always coined myself as Uber mom for her.
Okay.
And I have a 20-year-old who is a sophomore in college. Um, I have worked in the medical field for 25 plus years. First started off as a social worker, and then I received my MHA in 2023. So I'm doing more of the healthcare administration piece, but you never get away from being a social worker at
Mhm.
heart. So I do a lot between those two degrees. Work full time as a program manager at Washington University. And as you said earlier, I'm a doctoral student, so at ATSU. So that's who I am.
So let's review this because one point, I have four children,
Hmm.
and all of my children are very active. And you mentioned that you're an Uber mom.
Yeah,
Like that in itself, it is so time
it,
consuming.
it is.
So I'm absolutely curious in like how you, before caregiving,
Hmm.
how do you manage being that Uber mom, being that full-time employee, running a program, and then you said that you're a doctoral student as
Hmm.
well.
Yes.
That in itself is a
Oh,
bit much.
it is. It is. So this is what I will say. My department is extremely flexible. They're great. So they understand that there's a lot going on and you can sometimes flex your time. So that has been helpful to flex my time to be able to finish up maybe a couple hours at home because I have to run and get my daughter to track or have to pick her up from track or get her to some basketball event or something like that. So that's
Mhm.
very helpful. But the other thing is my family. My son, he started driving when he was 17, and I'm like, thank you. I'm happy that you have your license. I need you to help me with your sister.
Yes.
And then I have reached out to our aunts and a couple of our uncles for assistance. Last summer, there were three of us managing my daughter's schedule.
Wow.
Yes, because she's super busy. I want her to stay busy because these are her high school teen years. I want her to treasure those and look back with a smile. But I am one person. I was smart enough to know I could not do all of this on my own. So again, I reached out to our resources to figure out who could help do what.
Mhm. Yeah, having the opportunity to have that support system and to have those resources are absolutely priceless. And I'm
Mhm.
really happy to hear that you do have that support system and those resources to draw from. So
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
Yes. And being organized, it does help in that type of situation because while I am sitting there waiting for her to finish up a practice, I may, uh, on the sideline, I may be listening to, because I do a lot of audiobooks to help me with my material
Yes.
for my program. So I
Mhm.
may sit there and I'm listening to a chapter or two, or I may do bullet points so I know what I want to write when I come home, when I have to do a discussion or a paper. So
Mhm.
I am multitasking and I'm doing other things too. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's how I get it done.
You're inspiring already.
Well, thank you.
So You started off a little bit, and so this question, which is, tell us a little bit about your family, who you are caring for, and what does life look like at home these days with this new component.
The person that we care for is my mother. Um, she will be 74 in September this year.
Oh.
She was diagnosed with dementia late 2024, like November, a little bit before Thanksgiving 2024. Because I do have an extensive background in healthcare, it wasn't a surprise to me because that was the point of the appointment. I
Yeah.
wanted to get her seen by a professional, and I wanted her to um, get the diagnosis because I pretty much figured this is what we were dealing with, and I needed that medical support. Um, she did not want to accept the diagnosis, which is understandable. Um, but none of us were surprised
Mhm.
because we saw some changes with her within, the entire year of 2024.
Mhm.
I sat down with my children and I did explain to them things are going to change and we're just going to have to be patient with your grandmother.
Mhm.
I will need support, but I am also going to always remember that you all are teenagers and you have to enjoy your high school years.
Mhm.
And I don't want to take away from that, but there are going to be times where mom is really going to need your help. And we sat down together as a family and we just decided what we could do to help each other out in this situation.
Beautiful.
I did reach out to her siblings and I did discuss with them the diagnosis. She has one best friend. Um, we did talk, and everybody said, we're here to support you. You let us know what you need. My mother is an extremely private person. So even though we have extended family members, friends that want to help, I have to let her kind of guide that
Right.
part for me,
Yeah.
because she's just a private person in general. So sometimes she doesn't want to be bothered. Sometimes she don't want to be bothered with me, So I have to respect that. Um, but that's how everything started, and then 25 was actually an extremely stressful year because we were included in the tornadoes of March 2025.
Mm.
And that affected our household severely. We had a lot of damage to the home. Um, so it was just a very stressful and trying time. We were not displaced, thank God, but there was a lot of damage. There was literally a hole in the roof, which was in my bedroom.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, I had a tarp, over this hole because if you didn't have a tarp, you could see the sky from my room. So it was a very stressful situation. Normally in the past, my mom could help out with like making phone calls and stuff for me because I still have to work. But she wasn't able to do that. So everything was falling on me, making phone calls to the insurance company, making sure the kids were okay, making sure she was okay during the day when I was at work, trying to organize the different contractors to come out to the home. It was a lot. I don't ever want to go back there. And then on top of that, I'm juggling her health care, um, because there were some things that she really needed to get caught up on medically. So 25 was an extremely stressful year. I did consider taking a break from school, um, because my plate was full,
Overflowing.
very much so. The one reason why I kept going is because I want my mom there when I graduate.
Ooh. Ooh.
Regard,
Father, from her voice to your ears, let it be so, Lord.
yeah,
So,
regardless if she recognizes what's going on, just to know that her
her
presence is there.
presence is there. Oh, I got chills. I got chills. So, really quickly, before I follow up my question, I do want for my audience to give a little context. I didn't say Kelly is in St. Louis, Missouri. So, if you don't know about the tornado that happened there in 2025, just Google the tornadoes that went through the St. Louis County, the city of St. Louis, and completely devastated to this day
Yeah.
so much of St. Louis, Missouri. So look, take a moment and look that up so that you can get a context of what Kelly went through on top of what she's currently going through. When you were talking, one of my questions were, now, are you the only child? Do you have other siblings?
I'm the only child. So I am the only child. And when I said earlier that my mother is extremely private, she is extremely private. And she really, even when she did not have dementia, she really relied upon me. So even more so now.
Yeah.
The second person that she would rely on would be my son. He's 20 now. But at the end of the day, she really wants me. Sometimes I can even make plans for her to like go hang out with family. And then if she realizes I'm not going to be there, she's like, I don't want to do that because you're not going to be there. And I'm
Mm,
like, but it's okay. You can go and
yeah.
you can enjoy. Um, so yeah, I'm the only child, and it's been my mother and myself. I can't even remember how long because my parents got divorced when I was really young. So it's just been the two of us for quite some time.
A long time.
Hmm.
I have so many follow-up questions going through my head right now. Right now. I want to talk a little bit about, I want to go back when you talked about 2024.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of were not surprised with the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me about that journey. Like, what were you seeing? We have a lot of aging parents, and as we know, memory issues is a part of aging.
Sure.
But at the same time, what were some of the things that you were noticing that gave you red flags that this is a little beyond aging?
Okay, so an example, she would lose words quickly. She could not tell you, like, I'm looking for the remote control. She could act it out. She was like,
Hmm.
I need but she couldn't tell you the remote control.
Hmm.
Or she'll say, you know, like, I want to go and get something to eat, but she couldn't put it in those words. Um,
Hmm.
I was riding with her one day and she just stopped at a green light. And it obviously completely freaked me out because I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? And she was like, I don't know. I just stopped. And I'm like, okay, that's dangerous. You can't do that. And I explained to her why.
Hmm.
Um, but the biggest thing was she could not carry a conversation like she used to. I would always have to stop and let her figure out the word or help her figure out the word.
Hmm.
So, really, it was her conversation that started to become more alarming to me. Because my mom and I, our personalities are night and day. We are two different individuals, but the one thing that my mother and I have always been able to do is have long conversations.
Hmm.
And that was different when she couldn't hold a conversation.
Yeah. So your mom, you two are very close. She's always depended upon you. Um, Now, had she always lived with you, or did she move in after this kind of transpired? How did that work?
No, so no, we live separately, but I went through a divorce, separation in 2020. 2013, 2014, and my children were young. Back
Mm-hmm.
then, they were like maybe 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then I I worked part time, and I was about to go back to the workforce because I was about to go through a divorce. I work in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was going to have to get to work at 6 a.m. And I needed support. And it just made sense. She wanted to move from where she was living. I was about to move because of the situation with, my spouse at the time. So we just moved in with each other. And she really was supportive with getting my kids to school or picking them up, sometimes both. My little one, like I said, my daughter, she's always been active. Um, so she would always help out as best as she could with trying to take them to different events and pick them up. So I would say 10 years of us just living together, no dementia or anything. And then, like I said, in 24, we started noticing a difference.
So it really is. It's always took a village.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, she was your village in that season of your transition,
yeah,
and now you and your children have become her village.
yes.
Um, I'm definitely curious of how you manage being able to really take advantage of the support system that you have when you have this very private person who only trusts you first and foremost. And then you mentioned your son, but he's 20, he's young. But then you have all of this crowd of people saying, "We're here to help. We
Yeah,
want to help."
yes,
Like,
yes,
how can and you need your time, you
yeah,
need your moments, you need to study, you need to woosah, you need to
yes.
breathe. And later on we'll talk about how you're managing dating, if you're even going back out into the dating scene. Like, how do it's really hard, that juggling of honoring your parents' wishes and then trying to juggle what's best you know and so how do you take advantage of your resources, at the same time ensure that your mom is comfortable, um, with you knowing that she wishes to just kind of be where you are.
So when we got the diagnosis in November of 24, she and I sat down and we had a conversation um, before Christmas. And I like to be a realist with things.
Mhm.
And I wanted to have this conversation while I knew we could have a conversation.
Mhm.
And I told her that I will do everything in my power to keep her at home, but we will have to work with family and friends because I am one person.
Mhm.
And I said, I know sometimes you're not going to want to be bothered. I know that, but you're going to have to work with me because I'm one person. I did explain to her, my children are here to support her, but they're teenagers and now young adult. Um, and we need to allow them to live their life as well. I did explain to her the goal is to keep her at home until, end of life. But if I have to look into a nursing home, trust me, that is the last thing that I will do. That's my only option. And we had a really good heart to heart about that because I never wanted her to feel like I could take it all on. Never wanted her to feel like I was going to, lie to her and make her feel like, oh, you're going to be at home all the time when maybe that's not the case. So I was just upfront and honest with her. However, at the same time, my mother has never wanted to be a burden.
Mhm.
So we had the conversation. Um, she is a little bit more accepting of help Her friend came and picked her up like 2 weeks ago, and she was reluctant, but she had a wonderful time. So she does, let her guard down, and
Mhm.
she'll go ahead and cooperate. And only thing I have to say, sometimes even when she doesn't want to, I'll just say, Mom, I really need you to help me right now. And she'll say, okay. Because in my heart, I truly feel like even though she's going through this in her heart, she doesn't want to be a burden. So if I just tell her, I really need you to do this for me, I really need you to do this to help me out, it's been okay for right now.
Mhm.
Um, That's the best way that I can answer that question, because nothing is by force right now. I would like for her to like do a day program. She's really resistant to that. We've gone to several. She really doesn't want to do that right now, and I'm respecting her wishes. But I do know within the next couple of months, I'm going to have to be the bad guy and make that decision.
Yeah,
You know.
understood. So it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, especially when you're working with people that they're so used to being independent and
Yes.
making their own decisions and doing the things they want to do. At one point, they were making your decisions for
Yeah.
you. And here it is now. They're having to relinquish the only power that they know.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's
It's
really tough.
yeah, it's very hard, and I do try to give her an opportunity to still feel independent in certain situations,
Hmm.
because that has always been important to her. So I
Hmm.
never want her to feel like she has lost her independence with everything. Certain things th- she just can't do. Like she just simply cannot drive.
Yeah.
That's just simply, no, you can't do that. But if she says she wants to go for a ride, or if she says she wants to go somewhere, one of the three of us, we will take her wherever she
Hmm.
go.
Hmm.
Um, she has three people that are constantly trying to support her on this journey, and we try our best to make life good for her. So
So tell me this. So you're part of the sandwich generation. So you're raising your teenagers, you're caring for your mother who has dementia, you're working, you're pursuing your doctorate. Have you had those moments of feeling like, okay, this is a bit much?
yes, yes, without a
And
shadow of a doubt.
it, in those moments, like, how do you resolve? How do you reset? How do you find hope and peace or beauty in those moments that give you that shot of, I can do this and I can keep going?
So it really just depends on the situation. And I just had one the other day. I tell people it is okay to experience all of the emotions, because I was angry, I was accepting, I went
Mhm.
back to being angry, I was frustrated. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? This is my life. My mother was a great mom.
Mhm.
She deserves to be cared for. And I just had to sit down, and I had to like just take 10 minutes just to myself, almost like that woosah moment, just to
Mhm.
take a deep breath and just figure it out. But I also have a support system.
Mhm.
And so I have quite a few friends, but I have three really, really good friends that are like almost available anytime.
Mhm.
And I had to vent because it was a bit much. um, and I allowed myself to vent, and I allowed myself to feel all of those emotions, because I'm human. Uh, I don't want to have anything bottled up, and I had to let it out. And after I let it out, I got back to business. I'm like, this is what I need to do. I had decided to sit out this semester because we just started class Monday. I had decided to sit out just so I could kind of refocus, but that didn't work. So I'm back in school. uh,
Good.
but I'm rearranging my schedule, and I'm not saying yes to everything. I tell people no, I can't do something, and I don't feel bad about it because they're not in my position, they're not in my situation.
Mhm.
They don't they don't know what my life is like. So if I say no, I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's no.
Yeah.
Um, and then, like I said, my son and daughter, they're very helpful. So we'll sit down and we'll talk. And I'm like, Mom needs a little bit more support. Can someone, handle this day, or can someone do a weekend for me, or, whatever. And so we'll sit down and we'll discuss it.
So I think I want to kind of wrap up our part one in this area of something you talked about, which is, I think, is very, very important when you do have that constant stress of caring for another human all of the time. And when you've kind of been thrown into that situation, some people. But you talked about having taking advantage of being able to let it out, being able to vent, being able to really express how you're feeling. There are so many caregivers out there that feel like they don't have anybody to talk to, or they don't want to talk to somebody, or they feel like you mentioned your mother being very private. You have these parents that are very private, and you try to honor who they are or who they were in all of these things. So because you're honoring who they are, you're like being eaten up and
Hmm.
suffering on the inside because you're not getting it out. It's constantly coming in, but not coming out. And you having those moments of release, having those moments of being able to just, um, uh, I don't know, get that stress,
Hmm.
that pent up stress off of you. It
Yeah.
is so important to find some resource. If you feel like you don't have appropriate friends, or if you feel like you don't have the appropriate support system where you trust it, support system where you can have those really vulnerable conversations, maybe look into counseling, therapy, something. But you have to have some type of resource of getting it off of you and
Yes.
letting it out.
Yes, definitely. I do talk to a therapist once a month. Um, there is a group that I'm interested in signing up for. It's called I don't want to misspeak, but I think it's like caregiver support, but it's for individuals who are caregivers, and is offering support, online support. Because I need online. I don't need to go in person because my life is too
Too
chaotic for
busy.
that. Those are great resources. But because my friends, all of us are kind of in the same
Mhm.
sandwich generation, we support each other, because we all have gone through it at different times. There are two of us right now, three of us actually. We're all supporting each other because all three of us are going through different things with our parents. So we really have to support each other. But it is important to get it out. And then I always tell people too, I also exercise.
Mhm.
Um, Even if it's just 20 minutes a day.
Mhm.
Just getting outside, connecting with nature, walking, just taking 20 minutes just for myself.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get into meditation, and I do a lot of prayer because my faith is Christianity. So I
Mhm.
pray a lot,
Mhm.
because I need the help, and I feel like I am smart enough to know I can't do it all, and I don't. And this is the other thing, I don't want to do it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest. I don't want to be a super mother. I don't want to be a super woman. I don't want to do it all.
Mhm.
But life has a way of making you do it.
Yeah. So, in wrapping up, a few reflective questions. Just listening to this, I think this conversation has been really awesome, very enlightening, and I'm really grateful that you've taken this time.
You're welcome.
What are some of the most things that you're proud of?
I am proud that my children have not shied away from this situation.
Mhm.
I am so thankful to my children and my family for stepping up and saying, we are here, and my
Mhm.
mother's best friend. I'm so
Mhm.
proud of that.
Yeah.
Um, I'm proud of myself if for being here for her, because I will always be here for my mother,
Yeah.
but also continuing on my career journey and also continuing with my education and not giving up. It's not easy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. But I'm doing it and I'm here. I'm doing it.
I'm proud of you. I'm
Thank
proud of you.
you.
Absolutely. Two more quick reflective questions is what has been your greatest sacrifice during this time?
I think my greatest sacrifice is just not being able to just do what I want to do from time to time.
Mhm.
Um, so for an example, I have two vacations coming up in 27, and I'm already planning for that now
Mhm.
because I need someone to be there for my mom, or I need to make arrangements,
Yeah.
whereas like 2 years ago, I could just make plans and go.
Go. Yeah.
um, my children are soon to be 18 and he's 20. That's the time where you should be able to just say, Mom will be back in an hour or two.
Yeah, and just be gone.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
can't. So I always
Yeah.
have to make sure she's covered, whatever she needs is taken care of before I go somewhere. And I'm constantly checking in to make sure she's okay. So that, I think, for right now, is the biggest sacrifice.
So, in considering all that you share, where have you seen hope through this journey these last few years?
What I will say is my mom has been a great woman of faith.
Mhm.
And even though she's dealing with dementia, she has been lighter. She's been happier than she was prior to dementia.
Mhm.
There's so many different phases of dementia, and I
Yeah.
was always worried that she might be combative, or, what if she, just my mom doesn't curse, but there is a form of dementia where people can become belligerent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was always worried about that, but it's been the opposite. So I always say it's kind of like God letting me know I'm still here,
Yeah.
even through this dark time, because we get more good days out of her than bad. She
Yeah.
laughs a lot, she smiles a lot, she's like, just happy. She has her bad days, and sometimes when she's having a bad day, and I always let her leave her alone, let her be, let her have her day.
Yeah.
um but she's been more joyful than prior to having dementia, which I was surprised, but I was also thankful because I just didn't know what kind of personality was going to show up. uh,
Mhm.
yeah, that's the best way I can answer that one.
Okay, we're gonna lighten it up a little bit and rapid fire. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, early bird or night owl?
It depends on the day. Prior to being a mom, I used to be a night owl. And
Uh-huh.
then when I became a mom, I became an early bird. But then again, depends on the
It
day.
depends on the day. Okay. Favorite ways to unwind.
Favorite ways to unwind. If you know me and if you're in my inner circle, you don't even have to be in my inner circle. Everybody knows I am a die-hard audiobook lover.
Okay.
So I can unwind with the audiobook and a glass of wine.
Okay. I have my Audible subscription as well.
Uh-huh. Yeah, die hard.
Okay, so one word that describes caregiving.
Challenging.
Challenging. Okay. What's always your I'm sorry, what's always in your purse or backpack?
Lipstick.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody knows me. Even if it's a little shine, there's gonna
Uh-huh.
be something on these lips of mine.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So let's see here. Favorite comfort food after a hard day.
Favorite comfort food. Hmm. It used to be something sweet, but I've really been trying to take care of my health. So
Mhm.
I don't know. Oh, you know what? I love a good steak.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
can't go wrong.
Okay. Last TV show you binge watch. I have a feeling you don't watch much TV.
I do. You know what? I use television as background noise a lot of times.
Mhm.
So I do watch programs.
Mhm.
What was the one that I just got finished? Neighbors and Friends or something like that on Apple.
Okay.
I love. Everybody knows. If you know me, you know I love murder mysteries. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Preference is the beach, but the older I get, I can appreciate the mountains. But my first love is the beach.
Okay. So, what's one thing that your parent always says that makes you smile?
Hmm. What does she say to make me smile? That's a good question. I have to think about that one. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know if I have time to come back to it.
Sure.
Okay.
If you think of it later, part two, you can mention it.
Okay.
What's one thing that your teenagers do, or young adults, I guess, do to keep you humble?
Oh, my daughter is always her mouth. She's very direct. She has a unique sense of humor, and sometimes I just have to, oh, just have to pray because she does some interesting things. For an example, she brought home a kitten the other day, and I asked her not to, and we have a kitten. Uh, so we're still trying to work this out because she's in love with this cat, and I don't dislike the cat, but I'm not ready for some of the things that a kitten does. So,
It, I understand. I understand. If I told you my little pet story around here with these kids, I understand.
yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So, listen, at the Caregiver's Compass, we believe every caregiver deserves guidance and hope. So, I'll have you, would like for you to leave us with this. What is one piece of direction, a compass point you'll give someone who just is beginning this journey of caregiving?
Extend yourself a lot of grace. Remind yourself that you are one person and you need a break. Um, you can't do it all. You shouldn't do it all. And if it's nothing but just 20 minutes a day, take time out for yourself. Because if you go down, it messes up everything. You know, they always say when mom goes down, the whole house goes down. It's true. When you're the caretaker, the caregiver, if something happens to you, it affects everybody. So take care of yourself and do not feel guilty about that because you need some time.
Thank you, Kelly. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a wonderful conversation with Miss Kelly Lazarus. If you have found value, if you have heard something that was touching, please send some well wishes to Kelly and her family on their journey. Like, share, comment. Share with other caregivers that's on this journey, a new caregiver that kind of don't know which way to go and what to do and how to do it. And is it even possible to juggle multiple things? Tell them about Kelly. She's amazing and she will graduate.
Thank you.
And I'm super excited to hear about this graduation as well. So please like, share, and comment. We will absolutely be having part two. We need to talk about some dating and how you're managing all of those things. But we'll absolutely have part two. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Caregiver's Compass, again, where we guide you through the journey of aging, caregiving, and life's most important transitions. Until next time, thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.